Hi guys, this is Avi, and in this tutorial I'm going to talk about working with numbers in C++. So numbers are basically your whole numbers, integers and decimal numbers. So uh, numbers are kind of data types that we use a lot of times in our programs. So for for your like simple whole numbers, you can use integer data type, and for your decimal numbers there are two kind of data types, like one is float and the second one is double. So the float is like basically used for less to up to less decimal point, and double is used for like more specific decimal points. So yeah, that's the basic thing like about numbers. So suppose you want to print out any number, you can just write it out, and then if you just run this program, you can see it prints out that number. So you can also just do addition, like all kind of operations you want to do. Suppose if I just plus it, then it's gonna give me the answer. You can also just subtract it, then it's gonna give me the answer. And you can like also multiply or divide it. So that's one thing. And there's one more thing that that is called that it gives a remainder between the two divisible number, I mean undivisible number. Suppose I just write this, and just write this percentage sign. It is called modulus operator. So it just it just give me the remainder if I just print it. So you can see here 3 divided by, I mean 10 divided by 3 has given me the remainder 1, so which is correct. So yeah, that is one thing. You can also store different kind of numbers inside your program, I mean inside your variables. Suppose if I want to store a whole number, so I can just write uh, int data type, and just casual name, and then like I write any number, suppose 10. And if you can also just store a decimal number, so for that I'm going to use double here. And um, you can see I've stored decimal numbers. So you can just print out any of the variable that you have created. So you can see it has it has executed what I have stored in the variable. So that is one thing. And you can also just play with functions in C++. So for basic math function, you have to include code from some other program. So suppose it has included IO stream. You don't need to worry about what these things are. I'm gonna make a separate video on them. So for working with math function, you have to just import C math. So you just gonna write this, and there are basically basic math function, like you can you can round a number, you can take a square root, you can just raise a number to this whatever the power you want. So for that I'm gonna write pow, and then wait, like whatever the base you want to write, base number, and then the power that you have to write. So if I just run this program, you can see it has given me 8. So 2 raised to the power 3 is 8. So that is the thing. And if you can also just write any number you want. So suppose 4 raised to power 5, it's 124. So that's this. And you can also find square root. So for square root, you have to write sqrt. It is a function. So if I just write 49, you can see it will give me square root of 7. 49 is 7, I mean. So that is also a function. And you can also just round a number. So suppose if I want to round like 2.1, it will follow the basic rounding like rounding process. So if it's written 2.1, it will give me 2, and if it's written 2.8, it will give me 3. So you can see here it's giving me 3. So yeah, that's the thing. And there's one more function called seal. So seal is just basically if you just write it will just round the number up. It will not round to down. Like if you just write 2.1, it will either give me 3 number or 3, or just it will give me throw an error if you just did some mistake. So whatever the number you write here, it's gonna give me 3. So yeah, you can see here. And the opposite, here I can do it with floor. So suppose if I write it's gonna round the number to down of its like nearer whole number. So if I just write here 9, it will gonna give me 2. So you can see this. You can understand this by an analogy, like seal is a short form of ceiling, which is raising the number, which is rounding the number up, and floor is the short form of the floor is not short form, it's just a floor. So it's gonna round the number down. So yeah, that's the thing. And yeah, you can also just like do some operations, like different kind of operations in a same number. Like you can just write 2 plus 3 and like this. It's gonna follow basic board mass process. Like the multiplication is gonna come first, then addition and subtraction. Like so it's gonna give me like 3 to the 6 and plus 2 is 8. So it's giving me 8. So yeah, if you just wanna like if you want to add 2 and 3 first, then you can put them under the brackets. So then it's gonna give me 10. So yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, and you can also you can just divide if you just divide like integral numbers, like suppose if you just divide a decimal number and an integer number, like suppose when I divide 10 by 3, they both are integers, right? So it is gonna give me, it is always gonna give me an integer value. Like you can see it is giving me 3, though it is not the right answer. But integers, operation with integers is always result as integers. So you can do like you can just write a decimal point like after the number and after both the numbers, then it will give the right answer. Like you can see 3.333. So yes, that is the thing. Integers, operation on integers is always integer, and operation on decimal numbers will give me the decimal number as a result. So that's all about that's all the basics of about numbers. So you can also just if you want to know more about numbers, then you can just google them, like functions function with number. So that's just the basic I have told you. So yeah, that's it, and thank you for watching.